I'm not sure if there are any other questions from the participants regarding session 1 and session 2 or anything that they might like to know. But I'm happy that, Prof, you explained it in great detail. Even for I, who's doing sequencing work, I now understand what I need to do for my own research work when I want to do multiple sequence alignment. So are there any other questions from the participants that they'd like to ask? You have 6 minutes remaining for the session, so you still have a bit of time to ask your question.
I told you this is a very key tool to use in your study, and that's why in everything in bioinformatics, any application, even for genomics, and we can do the same thing for larger scale and stuff like this. So yeah, it's very important to understand why we use. And there is a lecture. One of the lectures I have showed the application of multiple sequence alignment in bioinformatics, different application. I hope you know this very clearly. And also there is a part of it, the last part in session 1, the last section in session 1. It's the most important thing. One of the most important lectures is the last one, because I showed what is the importance of some positions, some amino acids. Let me share with you this slide, and I think it is the most important one for me. I mean, I always say to my student, to get the takeout message from my course, I'll show you some. One of them are very important. Let me start with which called interpreting your multiple sequence alignment. Session 1, I mean. In session 1, this is the most important presentation, and especially that when we talk about what is the part that is what we are looking for in the multiple sequence alignment, why it's conserved and not conserved, what is the amino acid we are looking for, what are the criteria are working for. So the most important part, of course, for example, here the pattern of conservation in multiple sequence alignment. Here we are looking, for example, why we're looking for tryptophan and phenylalanine, what W with F and Y. This part, for example, W for tryptophan, phenylalanine F, and tyrosine. Why we're looking for that in a protein multiple sequence alignment, and what structure it can be, structure changes can be caused of. As you see that this amino acid can be replaced and by tyrosine or phenylalanine, and this pattern of aromatic amino acid constitute of the most signatures. If you would like to build after that protein signatures from that domain, you can easily find in that. Also, why we look for glycine and proline, what does it mean? This is also as you see that for the beta strands or alpha helix, you always find it in that regions. Why we look for the cysteine, for the cysteine bridge? Why we look for the histidine and serine? Oh, this 3-4 slides, very important. Of course, for leucine for conserved protein-protein interaction, and such as leucine zipper. So what I mean is that this few slides in the last lecture in the session number 1 is a very important. And for me, I always stress on the importance of this lecture and this lecture, that lecture exactly, and especially that one, because that last lecture in the session 1 also show you why we use this kind of multiple sequence alignment and what kind of information we need to extract from it. Especially if you will go to the next level for the structural bioinformatics and start to study 3D structure and do docking and stuff like this. So at least you would like to understand what the important position, conserved position, and why it's important, why we are looking for it. So I hope you read this more carefully now, because you now understand at least that these positions are so important for the next study for you, your next study or your next step in bioinformatics. Okie dokie, I finished now, so I hope.
Thank you, Prof. For the other questions that might be remaining in the chat box, because we are out of time, please paste them on Vula Forum. Prof will respond there as well. And please note that I'll be releasing the assessment for Module 4 very soon. So expect a notification on your emails. Thank you, Prof, for the lesson and also answering our questions for session 1 and session 2. We really appreciate your content.